welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda, and today I'm out in my garden. It is nice and warm out here, y'all. I got my apron on, though, because I got a lot of stuff in my pocket, a lot of things that I need to take care of, because I got a lot of planting that I want to get done today. Got some extra seeds with me today, and I also got my marker, and I got some labels today. So I am going to get started planting on some stuff. But first, before I can start planting, I have to empty some containers. I have 2 containers that I went around to the east side of the house and got, and they are filled with lettuce. Now, y'all, this lettuce looks okay, but this lettuce is bitter. It has gone to seed and it is very bitter. So as bad as I hate to do it, I'm going to have to remove it from these pots. I got 2 of them. And while I was around there, I was tasting. And, you know, because sometimes stuff may have gone to seed and you taste it and it's still sweet. Well, my motto is, if it still tastes good, I'm still eating it. So rather it's gone to seed, I'm not just going to say, well, it went to seed and then I'm just going to get rid of it. I got to taste it first. I got to make sure. So that's what I was doing this morning, and these were extremely bitter. But I forgot about something that I put in my pocket. And I had meant to, I put it in my pocket because my daughter was making fun of me because I did taste it while I was around there. This is some kale. This kale is sweet and delicious. It was looking pitiful around there, but it is very sweet and delicious. I put it in my pocket because I was going to wash it when I got around here to the hole, but I did not. But I'm still going to wash it, and I'm still going to eat that. But I need to go ahead and get these lettuce plants out of these pots. And this one is not wanting to give it up. It has a thick stem and root. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and pour it out, because before I can put anything else in this pot, this was endive. And I love it. I love that. I ate a lot of it. So don't think that it all went to waste, because I ate a lot of that endive this season. And my bucket is trying to break up on me. So this may have been one that has gone for a couple of seasons, because it is breaking at the top. When you hold the top of it, it's breaking. But I went ahead and I got the soil out and the root. So I'm going to take my shovel and I'm going to break it up. So I'm going to need to use this soil for what I am about to plant in this pot. So the other plant that I have is also a lettuce, and it was obvious when you look at this that, you know, there's no doubt about that this has gone to seed. First of all, you can see the seeds on top, and then the plant is just huge. So it was called Lolo Rolo, and it was a lettuce that is similar to Butter Crunch. So I'm going to remove that, and those lettuce plants are not going to go to waste, because we are going to give them to our chickens. Our chickens are going to be very happy to get these. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this root and stem out. And then I'm going to pour this into my, I got a tote down here that I'm going to be pouring all my soil in. And then I'll just mix my soil up. And the soil looks really good, although it has, you know, some roots in it. And so now that I have got my soil mixed up, I'm going to put these buckets, the broken bucket and all. We're not worrying about it being broken, as long as it's going to be able to hold my plants that I'm going to put in there, because I think we can get at least one more season out of it. We may get more, but we're going to go for one more. So what I'm going to do now is to just take my shovel and I am going to put my soil back into my pot, my 5-gallon buckets. And what I am going to be planting in these buckets are some tomatoes, because I have a lot of tomatoes to get planted. Some of them are going to go into the ground, but some of them are going to go into 5-gallon containers. I still need to get the tomatoes out of the greenhouse. That's going to be another big task for another day. My original plan was to get all of the indeterminate tomatoes out of the greenhouse. But after I saw how many indeterminate tomatoes are in there and how many tomatoes some of them have on them, I don't want to risk moving them and sending them into shock and losing all my tomatoes. So some of those tomatoes are going to remain in there. Some of those plants are going to remain in the greenhouse. And I bought some long stakes, so I'll probably have to cut, well, I'm sure I will, have to cut a little off of the stakes because my greenhouse is not that tall. So what I'll do is just cut enough of the stake to get the stake to be able to stand inside the greenhouse without poking a hole in my greenhouse roof ceiling. And that's the way I'll do that. And then just let them grow till they can't grow no more, and bend them as they grow. Just try not to break them because I really don't want to lose any tomatoes. Okay, so I'm going to just take this tote and try and pour the rest of my soil in here because I need all of my soil in here because I want my tomatoes to have a good foundation, a good soil foundation, because you don't want to just have your containers half full, or, you want to fill them up, so that you can be able to put your tomatoes in deeply. So I'm going to put these tomatoes in deep because I want them to get a good root system. And I'm trying to keep up on my tomatoes, guys, with my pruning, because that's very important. It's very important to prune your tomato plants. That helps your tomato plants be strong. Okay, so I have both of these containers filled with the potting mix from the previous season. And I am going to add in my plant tone. I don't know why they pleat these bags like that. Then you can't get the bag all the way open. And you try to get your hand down there. You don't want to get your hand stuck down in here because if it's a tight squeeze, you want to get your hand in. If you put your hand there, you want to be able to get it out because this stuff smells bad. It is some good stuff, but it smells bad. Please do not use this plant tone and go to the store after you've used this without taking a shower, because this stuff gets in your everything. That's why I always keep gloves on when I'm using this plant tone, because this plant tone will even with gloves on, you can take your glove off and you still can smell this stuff. So do not take this lightly. When you use plant tone, take a shower before you go to the store. Just saying, you know. So I'm going to add some in because it is some good stuff. Plants love it. If you got your hair flying around while you're using it, shampoo your hair because you don't want your hair smelling like this. I just feel like I need a little bit more. Because I want to be sure to get it deep down in there. Because as I told you all, my roots are going to go deep in here. I'm going to plant these deep. And the tomatoes that I have are two heirloom tomatoes. They don't look that good, guys, because they've been sitting in the greenhouse for a while. And then when I took them out of the greenhouse, I bought them outside, and then they didn't get some water as much as they needed for a few days. So they are looking pretty sick. I'm going to put 2 of each. Oh, I can't put but 1 of each because I only got 1. I got some more buckets over there, but I'm going to put 1 of each right now. One is a black creme. Take the label. See if I can get it in there. It's a black creme tomato. And the other one is a purple Cherokee. Oh, let me take it off. Or Cherokee purple. So those are the 2 tomatoes that I'm putting in here today. 2 delicious tomatoes. And so I want to get them in there, and I want them to do good. And so I'm going to take the biggest one. That would be this one of the black creme. And I can tell you before I get them out, they're root bound because they've been in these pots. And that's another thing. Whenever you got your seedlings or your plants in these tiny pots, y'all, please get them out before they look like this. Because I have one of these planted in a raised bed, and it looks totally different. It has grown, it's doing its thing. But this one could only do so much because the roots were restricted because of this tiny little pot. So as soon as you can, get your plants out of these tiny pots. So this one has gone much longer than I had wanted it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pruners, and that one just fell off. I was going to prune it off, but it fell off. Just prune off the bottom leaves. And I'm going to put this plant up to this in the soil. So I'm going to see if I can. I want to move some of these. One of these pots is breaking, but I'm going to move it over here so I can show you all. So y'all just excuse my broken pot. And I'm going to, even if I have to take some of this soil out, see how far will this plant go. I want it to go just a little bit deeper. I'm still breaking it. So y'all see how much I still wanted to go just a little deeper. Seemed like I guess my soil must have fell back. There. Okay, so y'all see how far this plant is in this soil. And then you just want to feel back around it. Get the air out. Make a label. My labels that I made from a window blind. So that's our black creme. I got my label in. Now we get our Cherokee purple in. Go ahead and make my label. And y'all, I like this apron somewhat, except for the fact that this part, it's a apron that you can also gather your harvest in. Come out and pick some tomatoes. But I was gonna put my phone, well, I did put my phone in there, but this part, it's like, it really does, this part is the bottom, but it's not a sewn bottom. It's like you can, I guess when you get your harvest, you can just bring this here open and just drop all your stuff out. But that doesn't work for my phone, so. Okay, Cherokee purple. Put my gloves back on in case I'm sure there's some sort of insects down in here. This pot has been sitting out for a whole season, so you want to make sure that you protect yourself against bugs, spiders, and ants. Okay, so we're going to pick out I'm going to take my biggest again. It's kind of a tie between these two. I'm just going to go ahead and get this one that's on the outside. It's both on the outside, but not next to the label. So the root's not looking terrible on that, but it was ready to come out of the pot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make me a hole. I won't have to make it as deep for this one. I'll just take that one off of this plant. Drop it in. Fill back in around it. Put your label in. Press it down to get some of the air out. And then water it in. And give it a nice drink so that it can get ready for this heat, because it is pretty warm out here today. All right, so now you got 2 new tomato plants planted up. Cherokee purple and a black creme. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Hope that you learned something from it. Hope that you will subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. And as always, y'all, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.